So, what do you think of the previous Sultan?
Well, I think he was very weak for in signing the Treaty of Sevres. You know, it's not a very good ruler.
What about the Zionist movement in Israel right now? Is that in any way affecting your rule?
No, I think the Jews can do whatever they want as long as it doesn't negatively impact my country or my people.
Nice. So, what do you think of the previous Sultan?
Well, I think he was a very weak ruler for this Treaty of Sevres.
And about the Zionist movement down in Israel, is that in any way affecting you?
No, as long as the Jews, don't affect the country in a negative way, they can do whatever they want.
And do you have a reason for separating religion from government?
Well, if I didn't, it would create a lot of conflict between the people who don't believe religion should be in government and the people who do believe religion should be in government.
And there are people out there who believe that Islam is essential for running a strong economy and government. What would you say to those people?
Well, since I'm smarter than them, I would say it's gobbledygook.
Why did you declare Turkey a republic?
Well, I wanted it to be economically stable and not dependent on other countries. Turkey has to be Turkey and Turkey alone.
So, when you came into power, what encouraged you to industrialize Turkey?
Well, I was Western educated, and so I've seen England and France and Germany, and I've seen factories and how well they're doing in some parts, and, except for Germany, because, Germany, World War One, freaking sucks after that. But Britain, powerhouse, British Empire, and why can't Turkey be like that? We're just as important as England, aren't we?
Very, very good point. Why do you feel the need to give women more rights?
Well, women shouldn't be discriminated against. They're just as equal to men, aren't they?
That's a very good point. Also, on the topic of rights, apartheid in South Africa, what are your thoughts?
It's terrible. I mean, who came up with the idea that just because somebody's black, they don't have as many rights?
It's a very good point. I feel that way as well. One more question here. Why did you order all of the Turkish people to have last names?
It gets kind of confusing if people have the same name and no last name. Like, two guys named John. If you want to point one of them out, you literally have to point at one of them. Hey, John! That's kind of rude. So, I'm a very polite guy, at least I think. And so I think it's a pretty good idea to give people last names.
Well, I think you're very polite too. Thank you. Reza Khan was obviously inspired by you to overthrow his government in Persia. What would you say to other young people looking to revolt against their superiors?
Well, follow their dreams, do what's right, because the government is probably very corrupt, and so it has to be overthrown.
Alright. Out of all of your reforms, which do you feel was your favorite or the most successful?
Well, I think industrialization in my country is probably the best. I mean, there's so many benefits out of that. There's so many different reforms that come out of just that one thing. Better living, more jobs for one thing, more money going around. It's a little bit healthier too, because people can afford healthcare.
Now, since you've created the Republic of Turkey, have you run into any obstacles along the way?
Well, nothing too significant, really. I mean, there's some people that still believe Islam should be in the government, but the majority of them, just go along with what I have to say.
Alright, and why did you establish Turkey as a republic as opposed to a communist society or a dictatorship?
Well, the Turkish people have a very proud heritage, You can't just destroy that by saying everybody's the same. No. For example, I'm of Greek heritage. Well, it was the Ottoman Empire, but now it's part of Greece, so, if there weren't people like me, imagine what the country would be like.
Nice. And speaking of the Greeks, you've kicked over 1.2 million out of your country.
Yeah.
Why?
They deserved it. All the Greeks, first of all, when the Greeks landed in Smyrna, they tried to take over the government. If we still have Greek sympathizers, they could try to throw over the government we have right now.
So you said yourself that you're Greek. Have you met any repercussions from doing this?
Right now, being asked that I'm Greek, but in the government, none really so far.
Alright, well, that's all we have time for today.
Good.
I'm Jethro Swanson, And this is magic.